This week on PayPigs Pod, we're talking about Elon Musk and why he's being a big crybaby.
Who almost cried like a baby on the Tesla investor call last week. Plus, he shot one of the new Cybertrucks with a Tommy gun because he's a big dork.
Turns out Black Monday didn't happen, but will it soon?
Yeah, who knows? Will it? It's probably when you least expect it to come. That's the way these
That's
Black
what they
Monday
say about
things
Black
work.
Monday.
Yeah, it's when you least expect it. You're hoping for a green Monday, and then it's just black, and you're wishing that that stocks weren't going down.
And we've got our first crypto corner in a long time. Bitcoin shot up. We're going to find out why.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. That thing just went sky high. 10% that thing shot up because of some reasons that we'll get into. Plus, bad news. Americans are missing their car payments.
Are you an American?
Yeah.
This next thing could affect you.
Are you one of the over 6% of Americans who has missed their car payment recently?
Are you an American car owner?
Are you? And also, some of you people are paying like over $1,000 a month for your car payment.
What are you guys
doing? What are you doing? Do you want the repo man to? Do you look forward to that confrontation of the repo man coming and knocking on your door at 2 a.m. and you come outside in your boxers and a t-shirt going, "Hey, that's my car," and then the repo guy's like, "You should have paid your bills.
You should pay your $1,600 a month bill."
Yeah, for your giant Ram Charger Defender F-150 Lightning truck. Cue the intro.
I'd like to try to sell something to you.
There are no nations, there are no peoples, there are no races, there is no race. Dictators, control bones, multi-hours, rank marks, waves, rules, bounds, and sex.
The world is a college of corporations.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 19 of the Pay Pigs podcast. I am Ben.
I'm Billy Baldwin.
That's Billy Baldwin over there. We got, before we get into it, we've got some administrative stuff to cover up top. We have a very special bonus episode today coming to you. We're doing our very first call-in Q&A. So if you want to partake in next month's, be sure to check out our Patreon where you can submit your phone number. We're going to be calling you.
And where do you find that? That's at patreon.com/paypigspod.
That's right. We also have, speaking of Patreon, since we added a whole bunch of stuff to our tiers, we have my TikTok roundup coming soon. We're going to be recording it this week to post for the month of October, wherein I show Emil all my favorite TikToks for the month.
I'm so stoked to see what you come up with, you crazy kook.
Because usually we would do it just in the bonus episode, but this time we're not going to do that. We're just going to dedicate
It's going to be its own separate thing.
Yeah.
And also, there's a whole bunch of fun videos on there already if you want to catch up.
Yeah.
Last week, one of my favorite bonus episodes.
Yeah, it was probably one of the best ever. We also just did our monthly movie night, which is another new thing that we've added to the Patreon. And that was really fun. We actually haven't recorded it yet. We're going to record it tomorrow.
Are we watching Chappie?
I don't know. Maybe. Chappie would be fun. Chappie might be the movie that we watch, but you'll find out Thursday or Wednesday night. So yesterday for you guys, tomorrow for us, which is always confusing. And this is your reminder for the audio listener to remember to check out our new weekly show on YouTube, Ben and Emil On.
Oh, yeah. If you're just like a Spotify king or queen, you got to take your ass to YouTube and see what we're cooking up over there.
Yeah, it's groundbreaking. It's revolutionary. People are saying lots of good things about it.
The last I heard was someone said this changes everything.
Yeah.
So
we'll let you decide for yourselves, but it's on youtube.com/paypigspod. It is a certified hit. So let's get right into it.
It went gold in Australia.
It went gold in Australia, which is like going bronze here.
Who can be sure?
Did you hear about that Australian woman who opened a sushi restaurant to the chagrin of so many people? And then it backfired on those people who like called her out, and now it's popping off.
It was one guy who is a different chef, I think. I did not look into this really, but I just saw people getting pissed about it. But yeah, apparently he was doing the same thing too. He was like doing like Peruvian Japanese fusion or something like that, and like Asheville, North Carolina or something.
My head almost exploded. I mean, it almost explodes on a daily basis, but I'm excited to check it out.
Where do you guys find the time? Every day you guys log in and you're like, today I just want to be the cops. I just want to be an internet cop and make sure no one's doing anything that makes me mad.
That's what makes life beautiful. You got to mix it up. I want to try the Australian girl sushi.
It
looks good.
I think, that woman can do whatever she wants, but
Sure.
when her defense, the whole thing of like Australian sushi or whatever.
That's a thing, apparently.
It's what is it?
It's they make like chicken schnitzel wraps and all sorts of shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me, do you remember when there was this was probably like 2015 to like 2018 sushi-ritos?
Margarita sushi?
No.
What?
Sushi-ritos.
Like dog
like
Doritos?
burrito sushi.
Oh, yeah. That
which
sounds
is
like
just
shit.
the grossest thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that
It's
sounds
just a
like shit.
huge thing of rice and fish wrapped in seaweed. I'm actually all set. Thank you.
No thanks. No thank you.
So when she said Australian sushi, I was like, I don't know what you're doing, but
Babe.
keep it to yourself.
Well, the other news up top, Vladimir Putin done had himself a heart attack.
A lot of people are pointing fingers at this podcast, and
Yeah. We didn't do anything, but we are going to send him some mail
we've got a little get well package we've put together.
that we hope that only he opens. That's the thing is it's for his eyes only. He's got to open it
We've written
first.
on the package, make sure Putin opens this.
Yes. In Russian, we wrote it.
And in Russia, you have to follow those instructions when it's on your mail.
Yeah. Man, that Russian language, when it's written out, it just looks like someone was drunk trying to write English.
Like a Cyrillic alphabet.
Yeah, it just looks like someone, you got the backward weird A and B's and stuff and the P's.
Do you think that's what happened? Too much vodka?
Too much vodka. But we do wish him a speedy recovery.
And a speedy opening that package.
Yeah, open up that package. You're going to love what's inside. It should be there in looking at my watch soon. I got to send the tracking number. But speaking of guys we love.
Speaking of guys we love, this one might be our number one.
Yeah,
this
Elon
might be
Musk.
my true crush, my true love.
A lot of news this week. We couldn't avoid him, and we know that some people love when we talk about Elon. We know that some people hate it, but we're going to try to actually remain as objective as possible here, which is something I'd like to strive to do. And this isn't a doomer episode. We're not taking the black pill. I'm taking the Diet Coke pill.
I'm taking the white pill.
What's the white pill?
It's for my heart.
Oh,
They're statins.
so that you don't. Or do you take statins?
No.
Oh, my cardiologist recommended it, but I'm not going to do it yet because I don't want to be on no drugs. Yeah. Well, so Elon, first, as we know, once a year, Wikipedia does their fundraiser. Jimmy
How
Wales.
do you say Wikipedia?
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia?
Wikipedia. Am I saying it wrong?
I don't know.
What do you say? Wikipedia?
Kinda. Wikipedia.
That's fine. I think both are acceptable.
Yeah, sure.
We can search on Wikipedia to see how it's.
I just never heard such a long I on it before.
Wikipedia. Well, so Jimmy Wales, who's the founder, every year they do, because it's a nonprofit, they rely solely on donations from people. And Elon, for some reason, since he's the main character of just the world now, he I don't know what is his beef with Wikipedia.
Oh, I didn't know he had any. I thought he was just being fun.
Oh, I thought that he was talking shit. Because he said that he would give Wikipedia $1 billion to change their name to Dickipedia.
This is just on brand for his childish humor, I think. I think he likes...
We got the tweet pulled up here. I will give them $1 billion if they change their name to Dickipedia. Dickipedia. Please add that to the bullshit on my wiki page. In the interest of accuracy, he goes on to say. So I think he's probably against Wikipedia because anything can go on there and say anything about him.
Right.
Which is kind of a giant community notes, which is a feature on Twitter that he stands by and advocates for.
Which it's kind of been a mess lately.
I don't know how do you even. I don't even know how to submit to community notes.
You're probably banned.
Fuck. Again?
Talking shit.
Dylan, didn't you get banned from Twitter once?
No.
No? Okay.
Food God blocked me once.
Food God? Oh, that's right. Oh, God. I remember that guy. That was fucking disgusting.
So that's probably what you're thinking about.
I think that's what it was. Shit. But it's just kind of, how dystopian is it that the guy with more money in the world than anybody by far, head and shoulders above the rest, is mocking like this totally open source community, humanitarian. Everybody's sharing knowledge, and he's out there just
because he's the one with all the answers. Don't go to
that's true.
Don't go to Wikipedia when you got me. And he wants his site to be he keeps touting that, right? Like we strive to be the journalistic source for everything. We strive to be like where you can get all your information. Meanwhile, it just fucking sucks. Like any tweet worthwhile, you click on it, there's just a bunch of guys with blue check marks going like, "Suck dick, loser." You're like, cool. There used to be like a rebuttal to stuff, and now it's just like
the algorithm is broken for sure. But I guess part of his thing was,
I don't think it's broken. I think it's working exactly how he wanted it, which was to you pay your $8 a month, we'll boost your moronic
views.
Tweets.
He said that he doesn't understand why they need money because him being so simplistic. He said you could fit the entirety of Wikipedia on your phone, which is true. If you did just text only and you did English only, but then it's like, my man, don't you understand that there are such things as server costs and upkeep and all sorts of shit like that? It's not like it's...
I don't know if he does understand that. Someone who just, he's getting like eviction notices because he didn't realize he had to pay the rent at Twitter headquarters or now X. He doesn't seem to understand. Remember he put up the big X thing?
Yeah.
It was just completely in violation of all these codes, building codes and everything. And they're like, you got to take that down.
But that's what rocks about being worth $200 billion is you can do shit and they fine you an amount that would otherwise bankrupt companies or individuals, but he can just piss on it. That's why he mockingly referred to the SEC as suck Elon's cock. Because they'll fine him. It is pretty cool, actually. Because they fine him $20 million, and he's just like, I don't give a shit. But anyway, Tesla reported earnings last week.
Yeah, this is the real news.
Yeah, and...
he wasn't very happy.
He wasn't. He did not sound good. They have an interim CFO who is just probably one of the most boring motherfuckers to exist in this world. And it didn't elicit a lot of hope for the Tesla perma bulls who believe in the company no matter what. And I just got to say, I mean, obviously Tesla made a lot of people into multimillionaires from being a shareholder. You could have 1000x'd your money. And I can't not say that if I were in that same position, I would drink.
Yeah, but some of them are now pissed.
Yes, very
so
pissed.
This inspired one of the funnier headlines I've seen about him. Elon, this is from Yahoo Finance. Elon Musk acted like a little baby and was almost in tears on Tesla's terrible earnings call, analyst says. You know who it is? That analyst? MeetKevin.
How did this guy become an analyst?
Because I think he got in early on Tesla.
He did. He made millions of dollars off Tesla.
And then, but that's all you need, right? You just need that one good call.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're an analyst. But he is someone who is now going like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
All my wealth is wrapped up in this. I made one good call.
So before we get into that real fast.
Didn't mean to jump ahead.
Well, no. Actually, we can.
Well, let's talk about what actually, happened with his earnings call here. There's probably the biggest thing is the big dip in profits.
Yeah, their profit margins have gone down.
It was last year was 3.3 billion. At the same time, now we're at 1.85 billion. Total gross profit declined 22% year over year.
However, they made $500 million in extra profit from their energy business, which is just starting to show signs of strength. A huge thing. They've got $26 billion in cash and like no debt, which is huge.
But hey, who wouldn't love that?
With all of their projects going on at the same time, particularly what they're doing with AI and full self-driving, you can run through $26 billion in just a couple of years easily.
Couldn't be me.
With all that R&D. What would you do with that?
I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Yeah?
No way I could run through it.
If you were Elon, I'd just do stock buybacks or something or dividend. Jesus Christ.
Another big thing for them is the Cybertruck that they, it has been like 4 years in the making now. I mean, it feels like, remember when he smashed the window?
Yes.
It feels like that feels like a lifetime ago. So yeah, I've been hyping that since 2019.
Yes.
They now are saying they have an initial delivery date for this fucking truck. They've got
November
November 30th. But I mean, we'll see. And even if he said once we start delivering these trucks, they're looking at about 18 months before it's even a significant cash flow contributor.
Yeah. So that's the thing is it feels like he's finally part of the mythos of Tesla and Elon was he had the luxury of being able to make all sorts of outlandish claims over the years because everybody was giving him the benefit of the doubt, right?
Right.
But now that they've become a lot more established, people are now kind of catching on. Like you can just see a lot more people talking about it. You can see the likes of this MeetKevin just starting to kind of see past the bullshit. And so one thing that he told investors on this conference call was to not expect high production volumes, low prices, or profits anytime soon on the Cybertruck, which is just, it's something that in 2019 he announced it and was like, we're going to be able to do this, and then we're going to be able to manufacture a ton of these. It's going to make a ton of money. But now he's got to kind of rein that in.
And I'm pretty sure he said the price was going to be $39,900,
which is
there's no fucking way.
There's no way.
Yeah.
And we were just before we started recording, we were just seeing that the Cybertruck, according to internal Tesla documents, weighs between 8 and 10,000 pounds. A fully loaded Ford F-150, I think, maxes out at a little over 5,000 pounds.
Well, and that's the other point. I mean, he's been getting his lunch eaten a little bit too while all this is going on, right? The Rivian R1T came out. Ford came out with their F-150 Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, there's just, he says they still have 1 million of those
pre-orders.
Yes. Where you pay a refundable $100 fee.
Right. But their Texas plant has the capacity to only make 125,000 of them a year.
Right.
So Jesus Christ, if you're one of the last people on the list, I'm not going to let Tesla hold on to that cash deposit. I'm going to fucking take my money back.
Right. Go get yourself a Ford Lightning. Go get yourself a R1T.
In 10 years, wouldn't you, I don't understand how this works, where if you keep if I make a deposit today for the 2020 Cybertruck.
I can't imagine all those people are serious.
Yeah. No, because I think the deposit was really low too.
It's $100.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And it's refundable.
See, now that's a way that's another one of the ways that they game it.
Oh, fully.
Right?
You tell people, you tell investors, we have 1 million people waiting.
Yes.
There's no fucking way.
That's what's so frustrating is like they promise these pie in the sky things. So he goes on to say that they made this prototype. He said that making prototypes, which is what Tesla's been doing with the truck for years, is easy, but making the production version for sale to customers is 10,000% harder because the truck is so, quote, radical and special. I think he meant radical in like it's groundbreaking.
You've never seen anything like this before. Yes. And honestly, there are some things maybe we haven't, but like I think he's missing
part of his brain.
I think he's missing what drives demand for a car and a truck a little bit. Like I think there's probably a small portion of the Elon fan base who is going crazy about some of these things, but we couldn't stop laughing about the bulletproof. People are talking about how it's bulletproof, and he's claiming that he unloaded a full clip from a Tommy gun into the side of it. And you can pull up the video. There's video of it driving with like dents from bullets, but apparently it didn't puncture thing. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, so epic!"
Yeah, here, look at this. Look, Cybertruck seen on the highway, potentially gone through bulletproof testing. And then Elon replied, "We emptied the entire drum. We emptied the entire drum magazine of a Tommy gun into the driver's door, Al Capone style. No bullets penetrated into the passenger compartment."
And it's just like I don't know how many people are out there going like, "But can I empty a Tommy gun into this fucking thing?"
I think that's one of the things is you can brag to your boys about, "Yo, this thing's bulletproof." Also,
I can't wait till people buy this fucking thing and they tell their friend to shoot at it while they're sitting in it, and people fucking start dying.
I can't wait till...
There's no way that...
I can't wait till people have serious problems with stopping in time, like killing people accidentally in their brakes and road. Like, the stopping power you need you need to know how to stop a 10,000-pound vehicle. It's not the same as stopping a fucking Yaris or something.
I don't think Yaris drivers are getting behind the wheel of a...
Well, they're also getting fucking penetrated by bullets, too. They got bigger issues.
Also, we're being generous here. We haven't even mentioned how ugly this fucking thing is.
Oh, yeah, God. Have you ever had a stainless steel appliance? You rub that thing the wrong...
The urge to drive a Whirlpool dishwasher.
They scratch so easily. You got to like wipe it with the grain. I don't know. It's just, I think it was one of his fucking drug-induced ideas that turned into this nightmare shit show.
Oh, truly. I think like he probably wakes up in a sweat sometimes thinking about when he first announced it in 2019, just going, fuck, I can't believe we have to release this goddamn car.
The people have chimed in multiple times.
He said, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, bitch.
Well,
he said they've dug their own grave.
Yes.
It's like it goes back to what he said about it's one thing to make the concept, but to make the prototype, but then to ramp it up. Like, well, so that's my man. That's like car making 101.
Right. We dug our own grave with the Cybertruck. He says it himself. Right.
Yeah. So that's one of the things. Let's play this fucking MeetKevin guy.
Oh, well, that's the thing. Like the headline is so funny. And when you first see it, you go, God, that's so beautiful. But this guy's, just as I hate this guy just as much as.
So for the audio listener, I'm just going to try to paint a picture for you. You know how people describe dorks as being a tool or a tool bag? This guy's like
the whole damn shed.
He's Home Depot. He's that big of a tool. He started out, I don't even remember at this point how he started out doing real estate shit with
he calls himself, I believe, the first landlord influencer.
And he's made, I mean, you got to hand it to him. He's made a full-on career.
He's rich as hell.
Yeah, and he's wearing a shirt and tie with a New York Stock Exchange puffer vest over it, and he's really just become a spokesperson of a person.
Yes,
that's his whole thing. Is just he is TV ready. He's got plenty of media training. He knows exactly how to talk on camera, and it's just so funny and plastic. So let's just play the clip from this interview he did on Yahoo Finance.
And Kevin Paffrath, financial analyst and YouTuber. MeetKevin. Good to see you, Kevin. So,
thanks so much for having me.
Why is she so giggly?
You're so welcome.
She's probably giggly because she knows he's a fucking dork, and she's like, okay, cool, I've got a match. Look at his cheesy smile. Again, good for him.
Yeah. We're very happy for MeetKevin.
We're very happy for him.
This was not the earnings call that people were expecting. I mean, we're used to the kind of Musk that we see on X, who sort of dips into everything, but this was an earnings call. What were your big takeaways from this?
Oh my gosh, this was terrible. I feel bad for him. Look, he's got a lot of things going on, legal battles, custody battles for his kids now, but it doesn't justify acting like Trump on Twitter, stonewalling the SEC or the European Union, and quite frankly, turning into a little baby on the earnings call. I mean,
do you think this guy talks this way, like
no,
out with his boys? Guys, I'm thinking that we got to get shots and beers, and then we're going to go talk to those girls, okay? So the thing is with girls, the way you have to talk to them is you've got to go up and say, what's up? You've just got to say something to get the conversation going.
I've already seen the clip, and honestly, as soon as he started talking, I was like, oh my God, I forgot it's like that.
Yeah. So he called him a baby.
Almost in tears. It showed a complete lack of leadership. Tesla's a leadership-less company right now, and it's terrible. That's why their CFO just left, I believe, as well. And this is a slap in the face to everyone. It's not just the shareholders, but it's a slap in the face to the other managers who are still there and the over 100,000 employees at Tesla.
I like his takedown because this guy has been the most Elon Musk can't do any wrong guy.
Yeah, because he was making him a lot of money.
Yes, making him a ton of money.
Now he's not going to make him as much money.
It's just interesting to me that because he made so much money on essentially one company over the last few years, he's now marketing himself as this Wall Street guru type, like with just the way that he's dressed, the way that he speaks. I gotta hand it to him. He's really good at what he does. But so then there's this other. Let me fast forward to this clip.
But I guess the question to you is, does that long-term play for EV demand, does that remain intact still?
Because one of the things that he was talking about is Elon expressed a major concern for the macro environment.
Right, with the higher interest rates, it's going to be more expensive for people to buy cars. Not only that, it's going to be more expensive for them to do all these things they want to do. So he's like, yeah, I don't know if it's going to get to that, but he answers it right here. I thought it was a great answer.
Absolutely, 100%. Look, like long term, 5-10 years down the road, everybody's going to want an electric vehicle. The range won't be an issue. There'll be charging stations everywhere. You'll be able to charge faster. Then you can fill up your tank of gas. These cars are much safer. They're much less likely to catch fire. They're much less likely
to catch fire.
I don't know about that. I mean, maybe he's
to roll over. You don't have fuel in the back of your car.
You don't have fuel in the back of the car.
Gas tank. These vehicles are phenomenal. The acceleration's better. The handling's better. Everything about electric vehicles is better. Problem is, you have, Elon acting like Trump on Twitter, and he's really, frankly, upsetting a lot of people. There are a lot of, especially women, which is another demographic Elon should be playing towards, upset and who would never touch a Tesla vehicle. So I'm very frustrated with Elon, but long term, EVs will be dominant.
So he's right. Long term, they're probably the way to go.
Every company is shifting their production to that.
I mean, you know what I'm going to say, right?
What?
Long term, the way to go is public
trains,
transportation.
baby.
Trains, build the trains, as we say.
But yeah, he's got quite a bit of. I don't know if we mentioned so another one of their problems is they slowed down production so they could update facilities, and Tesla's in the process of building a Mexican facility that's costing them $10 billion, and
there goes half of their cash.
He's basically deciding whether or not to delay this if interest rates keep getting hiked, which they might. Jerome Powell just said, not off the table, but they're like, this is just it's going to be untenable. It's going to be too expensive to do.
He talked about robotaxi because that's a big thing. This is from the
Cathie
conference
Woods'
call.
Wet dream.
Cathie Woods. Oh man, she just she's another one whose just brain is broken. She made so much money from this guy one time or a couple times that she's like, oh, he's the second coming of Christ. But he was saying that he's very excited on the progress with autonomy. End-to-end, nothing but nets. Self-driving is amazing. He apparently gets driven all around Austin with 0 interventions, so he says. And he says it's clearly the right move. The same software approach will enable Optimus and do useful things. It'll learn simply by looking. This is Optimus, the humanoid robot. He said that robot can break the economy and that they are the most ahead, even though they just started working on it. He says that Boston Dynamics is impressive, but it lacks a brain. Jesus Christ. At some point, the robots will manufacture the robots. Need to make sure there's a good place for humans. I mean, sure, down the line. I think this is the AI thing and the robots are his next grift that he can promise as being a few years away.
Yeah, he said they have a supercomputer that's going to blow everyone away.
Yeah, that's his next thing, to promise everybody the world and then in a few years be like, well, we're still working on it, but we're making great progress. And you should see this shit. They ask, will Optimus be working on factory lines in 2024? And he says, at this point, they're not ready to discuss details. It could barely walk. Now it can do yoga. A few years from now, it can probably do ballet. Who the fuck gives a shit?
I actually want to see it do ballet.
Also, if you've seen the Boston Dynamics, those motherfuckers have been doing gymnastics.
A pack of those dogs killed my whole family. They put a gun on one of them.
Put a gun on top of it. Someone did that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, was that the guy who put a gun on a drone?
Oh, the same guy? I don't know. I definitely remember seeing one of those dogs just like taking shit out.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, I'd rather get shot by one of those.
I hope one of the dogs kills me.
I wonder what futuristic way we're going to die in. Like, are we going to die by robot dog?
Probably.
Fuck. Like, if you believe in causal determination.
When the robot dog comes knocking.
I'll open the door. I'll pet it on the head.
If it's my time to go, I'll go down swinging.
They the robotaxis is one of the things that he helped sell Cathie Woods on, and he was asked about that, and he said the economics of an autonomous vehicle are wild because current vehicles you only get about 10 to 12 hours a week out of usage out of the total 168 hours of a week. You got parking, insurance, etc. But if you're able to increase the utility of the car by a factor of 5, but cost the same, at that point, Tesla's just a hardware company with software margins. But would you just let your car go out and take people for a ride? If it meant making, I wouldn't do that. I don't want some fucking randoms in my car jerking off and eating peanut butter and jelly or whatever.
That's what you think people do in cars?
What are you going to do in a car if you don't have to drive except jerk off? If you give a person a chance to jerk off somewhere, they're going to do it.
I guess that's a good point. I always picture people being busy in a car. Now I've got a bunch of hands-free guys in my car eating peanut butter jellies and jelly.
Yeah, just getting
sticky door handles.
I mean, get in the back of a taxi. It's the same shit.
The jelly or the cum.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I wanted to show another big thing is they were pressuring him. Well, not pressuring, but just asking, because Tesla famously doesn't do ads. And that's a big thing that people like MeetKevin are starting to push him on is, hey, you need to start doing ads because in part to like battle against, to work against your, because right now you are the face of the company. Right. And you need to do ads. But so Kevin made an ad. He made his own Tesla ad.
Oh, I'd missed this.
They're stealing the they're stealing the
God,
old
I hate him.
I know. He's such a, you know what he is? He's a penis. He's just such a penis. Not a weenie, he's a penis. They steal the old Mac versus PC ads where it was like
Justin
I'm a Mac.
Long fucking
Yeah. So they intentionally cast this poor guy next to him who's like, they got a guy who's a foot shorter than him. And
who kind of looks like him. It looks like his shitty brother.
Yeah. They did it just in a neighborhood. Like, my man, if you're going to record.
Truly, you got the money.
Go anywhere.
Rent the studio, bitch.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, I'm a Tesla Model Y. And I'm a Toyota RAV4. Hi, I'm a Tesla Model Y. And I'm a Toyota RAV4, the much more affordable alternative to a plug-in vehicle. Wait, how much are you starting for these days? Only about 43 or 44,000. Oh, so about the same. Really? Yeah, and you guys do get the $7,500 tax credit, right? Wait, you don't get the $7,500 tax credit?
I'm not really made in America, so.
That's
the whole thing. Yeah.
It's only about price?
It's about price and the tax credit. But I mean,
fucking Tesla just slashed their prices multiple times. That's the only reason it's close. And it's killing Tesla. That's why their fucking profits are so low.
I don't know if this is true, but some guy responded and said, you spend $2,500 on a home charger. Tesla insurance is almost double that of an ICE internal combustion engine RAV4. Maintenance cost of a RAV4 and Tesla will be about the same. A RAV4 has higher resale value and higher property tax amount on Tesla. You have to pay property tax? What the fuck? I don't know if that's correct. That sounds stupid. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, I don't know. But
yeah, even
there you go.
I responded with just, what? Laugh aloud?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
I mean, that's such a shitty, you go through all the trouble. You set up the cameras. Why not fucking hit more points? I mean, surely there's performance things that it's better on. That was wild.
Yeah, it's, I mean, again, good for Kevin. He's out there making things happen. There's a question. Well, I don't know if we care anymore. We seem to have covered this. I was going to play a clip of him from the actual conference call where he answers a question on price elasticity. All right, let's see. This is a analyst asking him a question on the earnings call.
Really, Frank, if our car costs the same as a RAV4, nobody would buy a RAV4.
If our car costs the same as a RAV4, nobody would buy a RAV4. I would buy a RAV4.
I would buy a RAV4 too.
Yeah,
I don't think Teslas are that nice looking. Number one.
No.
I think the insides suck. It's like it looks and feels cheap. I hate that fucking big screen. Yeah, I just I don't find Tesla's as appealing as everyone thinks they're.
I drove one once and I loved it, but I couldn't turn it on. I didn't. It's just, let's hear what else.
And the RAV4 doesn't have a fart function.
Very unlikely to. It's worth noting that a lot of these incentives, like the tax credit and whatnot, they're actually very difficult for the average person to access because most people do not have 10 grand, or even $7,500 burning a hole in their bank account. Large number of people are living paycheck to paycheck, and with a lot of debt. They've got credit card debt, mortgage debt.
So that's one thing that he went on to talk about with the macro environment that he's worried about, because they're lowering their prices to try to appeal to these lower income demographics who they want to sell cheap electric cars to. But there's so much that goes into owning an all electric car. Like, where are you going to, like where I live, where the fuck would I don't want to have to go.
Truly, it's not an option for me.
No. I mean, it is if I want to go, instead of going to the gas station, I go to the charging station and make like a whole 30-minute trek out of it. But I don't know. Anyway, so that's that. And Cathie Woods still loves him. She had a great quote. She said that despite all of his increasing troubles and things going on, that's actually when he shines the most. She said the intensity of his brain cells takes him to new levels when facing hardship.
When he's backed into a corner.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's going to do.
His brain cells start to vibrate, and it makes him think harder.
Yeah. But that is not the end of his troubles. He's also got some legal troubles, which I think MeetKevin was
alluding to.
Yeah. Not just his custody battles of his kids, but there's a United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission suit about which has been going on for a while. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about the rampant racism at their Fremont plant, which
we covered it in previous episodes.
Yeah, where there's just like frequent use of horrible racial slurs, racist graffiti, including swastikas. Sounds like an absolute
nightmare. But hey, it's a free speech work zone, though.
Yeah. And then one of their big things is there are multiple subpoenas from the DOJ. They're looking into, the big thing is the range fraud. They're saying that Tesla basically lies about how far you can drive on a full charge for their cars. It also goes into, they describe they're looking into the personal benefits of executives. One of
like
the things,
how much they're being compensated in terms
they don't really go into it, but one of the things that they know, there was a investigation looking into this like weird glass house project that Elon wanted to build using Tesla funds
out in Texas.
Yeah.
Right near the
and then
the new factory.
some of the full self-drive claims. But,
yep, that's a big one, because they're also getting sued by a bunch of people who have had accidents or had family members killed they allege, directly due to Elon and Tesla's claims about their full self-driving capabilities.
Right.
Because, he says that they can do all sorts of shit that they just can't do. And then there was that guy a few years ago who got killed, some engineer dude in the Bay Area. And then some weird Tesla guys were saying, well, when you think about it, he died for a good cause. Because now nobody will ever get killed in that particular part of the highway again in a self-driving vehicle, because now it's learned. And that's just
someone's got to teach these robots.
Someone's got to teach the robot.
But The Verge had some kind of wild information about the range fraud. They said earlier this year, Reuters reported that Tesla had received so many customer complaints about range that it created a special diversion team to cancel their service appointments. Customers were incensed that their Tesla vehicles were falling well short of the advertised range, sometimes by as much as half the number of miles that they were purported to get on a full charge. According to Reuters, there was nothing actually wrong with the vehicle's battery. Rather, Tesla had allegedly created software to rig its driving range estimates to show a rosier picture. This led to thousands of customers seeking service appointments to figure out what was wrong with their vehicles.
Right.
But because the vehicle was working as intended, Tesla's diversion team simply canceled all the appointments.
Yeah, that was a big thing. And then on top of that, there's just the quality concerns where there's like, they fucking leak when you take them through a car wash or when it rains, and just panel gaps and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Just piss poor quality control.
That's the most frustrating. I mean, can you pull up that one?
That's why he cried on the thing.
The one tweet we were laughing about.
Which one?
I think you linked it in here where it was. It's got him as like.
Oh, his fans.
Yeah,
his insane fans.
Because.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You're saying, they don't do ads and MeetKevin's.
Why would you need ads when you've got fanboys who can make cool shit like this? So this is for the audio listener.
Tesla-conomics.
Fanboy account. One of the best commercials for Tesla would be for Elon to fire bullets at a Cybertruck with people in it, showing how high of a priority safety truly is at Tesla, because no company is anywhere close to doing the things that Tesla is building. I got a different idea. Stick Elon inside and let us shoot it. Let me fire a freaking bazooka at that damn thing.
And it's accompanied by a picture of Elon Musk looking. It's probably AI.
Oh, of course it's AI.
But put in the style of like a John Wick poster. And that's the most upsetting part about all of this, is that they've created this mythology around this guy who's just the biggest
alpha male.
Yeah, but he's in reality just a fucking dork, a grifter, like
truly the biggest dork on the planet.
And like the fucking dick riding for just a guy who is trying to rip you off is so insane.
It's wild. Yeah, I'd like to again maybe put him in the car and I don't know, try a crash test.
And that's the thing.
Put it at 100 miles an hour straight into a wall and see how while shooting bullets.
I fully get it for MeetKevin or anyone who's been like, you know, financially invested in this and either made a lot of money or stands to make a lot of money. But if you're just like a regular guy with no Tesla stock who is just feeding this shit into Dolly.
Oh yeah, I wonder what the prompt was.
Get help.
Handsome Elon Musk pointing, using. They also are obsessed with the trigger discipline finger. They love to see when someone's doing, because if you're trained with firearms, you know not to put your finger on the trigger. You've got it like laid out flat, like he's got it. Oh boy. Anyway, so let's see, what else have we got? This week was pretty. Listen, shit's going crazy in the world, and there's been a lot of talk, and there was a lot of speculation over this last weekend that there would be another Black Monday. Black Monday being one of the biggest stock market crashes ever in the 80s, and a lot of financial Twitter was on about there being another Black Monday, which is usually when you know that there's not going to be one.
Right. I feel like you hear these calls a fairly decent amount.
Yeah. And that's the thing about people who are permanently bearish, is they always sound a lot smarter because there are so many reasons to be betting. You would think, man, you hear these people talk and it's like, wow, yeah, the world truly is teetering on the edge of fucking total destruction. But like Visa just reported their earnings and they beat. People are still spending money. People are still doing their shit. But yeah, things are. It's the vibe thing.
Are they pointing solely to geopolitical factors?
I think they're pointing to that. They're pointing to, as we'll talk about, there's a lot of Americans that are increasingly falling behind on their car payments, things like that. People living paycheck to paycheck. The rising interest rates staying higher for longer.
Potentially going higher too.
Yes. And on that note, there's actually some really big news that happened over the past couple of days. Is the Bitcoin ETF is making progress once again.
Yeah.
So it's looking like
Bitcoin jumping.
Bitcoin jumped huge. It jumped like over 10%.
It's at like 34 now.
Yeah, which is crazy because I was thinking about it today and it makes sense. It's one of those simple math things where an ETF, for those of you who don't know still, it represents the underlying thing. So like the SPY is the ETF for the S&P 500. It's the thing that represents the thing. And if you buy an ETF for
an exchange traded fund, right?
Yes, if you buy that for Bitcoin, the exchange traded fund, the ETF for Bitcoin is going to have to own some Bitcoin, like a lot of Bitcoin, to track the price of it. Well, as we all know, famously, Bitcoin has a very limited supply. So if the idea behind this rally is it legitimizes Bitcoin in such a way, number one, that, oh, it's here to stay. It is actually a store of value or whatever, however you want to phrase it. But the fact that it gets its own, potentially will get its own ETF on its face, that's a big thing. But then secondary to that is this ETF is going to be tracking Bitcoin. Well, it's going to have to own a fuck ton of Bitcoin. And that could take a good chunk of the existing supply off the market. And what does that do when you've got less supply? Higher demand, higher price. It's always interesting, you know? But it is also really funny because it was started as this anti-establishment thing, right? And now it's become not reliant on, but it's been gaining a lot of momentum from the very establishment that it
it
supposes
feels like,
to rail against.
It feels like now its value is wrapped up in its ability to be legitimized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It now stands to gain from more legitimization from the establishment that it was created to like help tear down or be less reliant upon. So that's pretty poetic. Kind of beautiful.
Fucking Satoshi's turning in his grave.
God, man, every time I think about that Satoshi Nakamoto account that has literally like what, $30 billion worth of Bitcoin in it, just sitting there, just untouched. Whether did the person die? Are they refusing to touch any of it? It's just sitting there. Just billions of dollars. Nobody can.
No one knows what's going on.
No one knows. That's fun for me to think about. It's like modern day pirates' booty.
That we'll never be able to access it.
Yeah, we'll never be able to.
And it wouldn't be,
look at it.
It wouldn't be nearly as fun to try to find it. You know, you can't have a City Slickers style movie
or
about the search for Bitcoin.
Ready Player One kind of thing, where it's some autistic nerd who like has his treasure. I wish that was Satoshi, who's just like, well, I made a big treasure hunt for everybody. Find it. That'd be cool if one day he just comes out and says it was me, and
you guys are gonna have to race in the metaverse.
It'd be cool if he made it'd be cool if he made a worldwide saw competition.
Oh, that sounds way worse.
Like I put the code inside of someone's mom.
Please don't be ours.
He's killing their moms. Written on the femur bone of someone's mom.
As long as it wasn't mine, I'd be sawing that femur off.
Sawing someone else's mom's femur off?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to protect your mom because what's to stop someone from checking on your mom?
Everyone's
mom is a potential target. I'm just saying. I don't know. He could do that, or what else? What else could he do? Blow up a federal building, and I'll give you the code.
Now we're talking, Satoshi.
That would be fun. We're not advocating for that, obviously, and hopefully the YouTube algorithm didn't just pick that up and flag this video as it is wont to do. Jesus. It's always something. Well, you can't talk about BLOWing an FED building. Huh? You can't talk about mailing someone ANTHRAX, huh? Can't joke about that? Can't joke about mailing someone a PIPE space BOMB? Huh? Can't do that?
Don't teach the algorithm how to spell.
I'm not going to teach the algorithm. You know, if the algorithm can't spell, that's your fucking problem. Read a book, huh? Sound it out, little baby. You're going to learn how to drive a car, you got to learn how to spell. Now that's fact. Now that's not cap.
Might not have to.
What? Learn how to read to drive a car?
Yeah.
You got to learn how to read a stop sign, man. What are you talking about?
You just program it to see stop.
Right, but what if it's in Mexico and it says alto instead? Or what if it's a sign that's got like, you know, no turn left on Sunday for the church crowd?
Program it.
Can't turn left on Sundays. Everyone knows you believe in God.
Is that what happens?
Well, sure. There's all sorts of rules that get in it. Like they're here in Los Angeles. So you drive west on Beverly Boulevard. You can't turn left between 4 and 7 p.m.
Right. Yeah.
And if
certain lanes are closed 3 to 7.
Yeah, I hate that shit. I've gotten tickets. I've gotten towed because of that dog shit.
Good. I get furious. I'll be on, what is it, Los Feliz Boulevard?
That's different.
Get those cars. If it's 301, 22, baby.
Yeah,
tow
get the fuck out of here. I was towed from a spot where it wasn't a lane where you could drive. It was legitimately like off street, and it was just parking that they arbitrarily make it. You can't park here between 6 and 8. No street cleaning, no nothing. And if you park there, you get immediately towed. It's not even a ticket, just $500. Move your car down the street for you, put it in the yard. You got to pay to get it out. I will KILL someone. Swear to God.
Wait, should we talk about these?
Paxlovid? What do you want?
The missing car, because this goes along with the whole Elon thing.
The car payments?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But
Let's talk about it.
So basically, record number of subprime borrowers are behind on their auto loan payments.
AKA poor people. Subprime. That's what that means.
Sure. It means they have lower credit scores.
Right. Yeah.
You can be.
I mean, I'm talking on the behalf of. I'm pretending to be a callous banker here because that's how they view them.
Sure.
Brokies.
They're just deemed less likely to be able to repay loans.
Right. So they're falling behind on
but
their
yeah,
auto
not
loans.
poor. Whatever. They're yes, it's the highest it's ever been since they started keeping the records in 1994. Okay, so the rate hit 6.11% in September. It was up from 5.93%, which doesn't seem like a big difference, but I'm shocked. They said analysts predict that auto loan delinquencies will continue to rise into 2024 and peak at about 10% before they start to fall. It's destroying the record.
Right.
I'm also shocked at how much people fucking spend on their cars.
No kidding.
This was...
What's the average payment?
I don't have the average, but a record number of new car buyers took out loans with monthly payments of $1,000 or more in the 3 months to June. I just can't even fathom that. I got a brand new car. My payment is $250.
Jesus. See, this is why I buy used. I don't have to. I just plop it down all in one fell swoop. One giant turd. One giant flush.
Yeah, but a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah. They poop and then they just keep wiping.
Cars are very expensive, and I didn't have a lump sum of however much a 2021 or 2 Subaru Crosstrek cost.
It probably cost $40,000, $32,000. $25,000.
I think it was closer to 30.
Well, I would have lost there. Hey, did you see this car dealership guy on Twitter?
No.
At Cardealershipguy. At Guy Dealership. What the fuck? He's got a podcast all about the car market. What a snooze that would be. Every week. Well, let's talk about the car market. Fuck, man.
Tell me the fucking thing.
Yeah, I'll get to it. We dedicate 5 minutes to this, and I'm already falling asleep. But he was talking about the percentage of subprime auto borrowers 60 plus days past due, like you said, hit a record 6.1 in September. It's the highest delinquency rate since of all time, actually. And he says, truthfully, it's taken me a couple of days to digest. I'm concerned, but my concerns go way beyond the car market. I'm concerned about people that are struggling to keep up with their bills. I'm concerned about families that will lose their means of transportation. I'm concerned about our economy, which is all stuff that, yeah, if you're delinquent on your car payment, it indicates you're probably falling behind on other things like credit card payments, rent.
Right.
You're spending less on food, whatever.
Sure.
Or my hope is that it's just people, they're able to make ends meet elsewhere. They're just not.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, maybe they just realize what? So worst case scenario, they come take the car. Come fucking get it.
Also, important to point out that it's very punitive. Like when you are a subprime borrower, you're going to be paying more for that fact. Right. So for subprime borrowers, rates for new cars average 11.5%, between 11.5% and 18.5%.
Which is so much
more. Autos. Yeah. Prime borrowers are charged far less, between 6.4% and 8.75%.
Is there like a super prime? Like you're better than prime?
I think it's just prime and subprime, but
man.
I'm not well versed in. Why do you hope that you're super prime?
I just wonder where I would rank. I just want to show up and be like, yo, I just want to know where I stand with you.
Well, I imagine that's the discrepancy between the 6.4 and 8.75.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and there's a way to do that. You guys, you could go on Credit Karma and you could show your boys. You're probably
My credit score?
800 plus credit.
Yeah.
score.
I gotta get my average age up. That's the one part of my credit score where I'm lacking. By the way, go to the creditcardlist.com. Get you a card. But make sure you can make the minimum spend to get the bonus. But yes, this is it's something that I'm worried about because that tends to kind of, I mean, much like the housing crisis, that was a big thing that led to it, was people no longer being able to pay their mortgages. But a mortgage is a much higher payment than a car payment.
But so they're saying that car payments have become the highest expense for a lot of Gen Zers and millennials, even exceeding their rent, which I cannot fathom for some reason. I know, but I bought my car probably 18 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that cars have only gotten more and more expensive, but I just don't understand. When people say $1,000 a month, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
I would just not have a car. I wouldn't be able to spend $1,000 on a car.
I couldn't. Yeah. No, good point. I wonder if it's a generational thing. Like if it's younger people who just don't have, I don't know, as much of a, maybe it's because money isn't as real to them because they've grown up where everything is so digital and you can easily just buy shit with double clicking the payment button or something, or dealing less with cash. I have no idea. I'm just,
You ever seen that TikTok where the guy, it's going through the office and they're all bragging about what cars they have in the car payments?
No.
It's awful.
But
yeah, it was that because it blew my mind. People were going like,
oh yeah.
Dodge Charger, $1,350 a month. And I'm like, why are you bragging about this? That's such a horrible,
it's psychotic.
Financial
that kind of
decision.
thing, yeah, that makes me nervous about the economy, is people spending this much money on their fucking car payment. It's like, how are you not? I'd be up at night every night going, why do I drive a Dodge Charger that I'm paying $1,300 a month for? And that's just the car payment. What are you paying in insurance?
I also think it's fairly easy to get approved. I mean, I remember.
Yeah. If they were giving houses to people back then, they're going to be giving away these cars. They got to move these cars.
When I did it, it was like, they were like, we just have to run a credit. He came back like 2 seconds later just being like, you got a car.
Did he really say you got a car?
No, but it was like, oh, I thought there would be more to it than that.
Yeah. You can just let me drive one of these?
Crazy.
I want to go test drive like a Ferrari or something. They got to let you.
I don't think
Surely
they gotta let you.
Oh, I just got to go.
I don't think you test drive them.
Yeah, probably not. Fuck. You can do it at the Porsche thing
I
off the 405.
I have a friend's dad who retired and bought a Ferrari.
Lamborghini?
No.
Maserati.
Yes. The Maserati. Literally, you have to be on the wait list. You can't just go in and be like, let me drive one. Mm-hmm. He was on a wait list for years and like he was stoked because it was finally going to get delivered. And he showed it to me and I looked at the name. And I remembered it. And then I was like, as soon as we're done talking, I'm going to Google this. And because I was like, I need to know how much money this guy
I bet it was like $120,000.
Way more.
160?
Way more.
Really?
About $250,000.
For a fucking Maserati?
It's like, yeah.
Huh. It's one that costs $250,000, apparently.
I think it was a Maserati.
Speaking of insane prices, one more thing I wanted to cover this week. We got, saw this headline about how Pfizer priced their COVID drug Paxlovid at $1,400 for a 5-day course.
Hey, that's a car payment for most people.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, and so then this tweet, the other slide in this tweet is from Pfizer themselves, and it shows the cost of production for this same drug. It's about $13. Costs them $13 to produce.
That sounds fair.
That's a 10,000% markup.
Look,
we need to get that dork. What was that guy's name who went to jail?
Martin
Shkreli.
No, I said it right.
What'd you say?
Martin Shkreli.
Shkreli. Yeah, we need to get him on here because his whole thing was he joined that cancer drug company, and he did the same thing. He jacked up the price like 700% or something.
But that's not what he went to jail for.
Right. He went for insider trading
and defrauding investors.
Yes. I remember when that happened. I remember watching that stock that he was in just fucking skyrocket. And then they halted it, and the next day it opened up like down 90% or something.
Yeah. It's just good to point out that it's perfectly fine to take life-saving drugs and jack up the prices.
Well, so that's the thing is he was asked on, I think it was on Shane Gillis. Yeah, Shkreli was on like Shane Gillis's podcast or something like that. It was in front of a live audience, and he asked him, would you do the same thing today? And he said, yes, absolutely. And because if you go and
wait, when he says the same thing, jack up the price? Or,
yes,
okay.
Jack up the price.
But I'm assuming he would, excuse me.
Whoa, folks. Emil just burped right into the microphone for the first time ever.
I'm deleting the whole file. I'm deleting the show.
My mouth was fully closed. It snuck up on me.
That was a cute, polite burp. Nobody cares.
But I imagine he wouldn't do the stuff that sent him to jail.
No, he wouldn't do the insider trading again.
But he would still jack up the price.
Yeah, and he likened it to, if I'm butchering this, but he said, I don't know, if you had something that you knew was worth a lot of money, you wouldn't just fucking give it away. You would sell it for what it's worth. But I think
that's actually not true.
This isn't me defending it, by the way. But he said pricing certain things that high is what enables companies like that to then fund research for other drugs and other shit, which is like, come on. I mean, sure, depends on the company. If they've got other drugs in the pipeline that are worth pursuing and putting R&D into, do they have other drugs already on the market that are pulling in enough money? They have enough cash on hand, whatever. But
I love to deny someone life-saving drugs and be like, look, we're trying to find other life-saving drugs.
Yeah, truly. That's, man, biotech. I used to be into following biotech companies, and it's fucking exhausting and maddening.
Why?
I can't imagine working at one, because one day your stock will be down 60%.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, okay, why? Oh, well, because this one trial had this one endpoint that didn't get met or something, or the FDA, you face so many hurdles between regulations and
Go ahead.
Regulations and I'm sleepy. No, I'm not sleepy. I'm fine.
I know you feel.
I'm totally
great.
fine. We're at the end of the episode, so nothing matters anymore.
We hit you with a Paxlovid right before the episode.
Did you see my tweet about Diet Coke and cigarettes, by the way?
That you are propping them up?
Is it just me, or in the last year, cigarettes have had a huge resurgence, and then Diet Coke
was not you.
I know it's not. I'm not saying it was me, but it's just funny, the timing.
No, it's not, because you fell victim to the same thing everyone else fell victim to, and then you think that you did it.
I'm not saying that I did it. I'm saying
wasn't your tweet?
Yeah, but that was a joke.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
But it's funny to be like, oh wow, I got wrapped up in the trend and started smoking cigarettes and drinking Diet Coke.
What I meant was like it felt almost akin to I'm wearing Crocs before they're cool kind of thing.
I know, but what I'm saying is you're wearing Crocs because you're uncool and just being subject to
it's just that now I'm paying attention to it. Diet Coke and cigarettes have always been cool. Just that now I'm participating in both of these microeconomies. I'm much more cognizant of it.
Cigarettes have always been cool. Although there's nothing worse than when like
there's nothing worse than seeing a hot girl smoking a cigarette and thinking she's got a shit so bad. That's what they make you do. They make you, especially a hot girl in the morning smoking a cigarette. You're like, girl, you gotta go potty.
No,
go on. Sorry.
The amount, the shit and piss consumes your brain.
It's my greatest shame, man.
It's all you think about.
It's not all I think about.
You see a woman smoking a cigarette, you're like, God, she's got a shit.
I don't think that. I think, would she give me one? And then I think, I wonder if she's already pooped. Or
I wonder if she's got a shit.
Yeah. What were you going to say? Sorry.
Oh, no. The worst is when you see someone who makes smoking look uncool. There's a movie with Emily Blunt and Chris Evans, Captain America guy, coming out.
Oh, yeah.
They released a clip of it, and they're like in a strip club, and Chris Evans is smoking one. I'm like, dude, you look so bad doing this.
Yeah. I look bad too. I'm sure I don't look cool.
It's like when every time Ron DeSantis is at one of those events trying to be an everyman and he's drinking a beer, and it's like, oh, just can I hang out with him for like 3 hours and show him how to drink a beer? Because it's he's doing it so badly.
Yeah, he sucks at being a guy.
Oh,
He totally. Yeah. Did you see this DeSantis shoe theory, by the way?
oh, don't you want to show me in the bonus?
Nah, because we'll just take calls in the bonus. Fuck it.
Okay.
Because we got enough. There's this. It was from a few weeks ago. The reason that his shoes look so weird. Audio listener, if you're still out there, God, I wish you could see this.
I do wish they could see.
He's wearing these like
cartoon character boots.
Yeah, and there's a theory that his feet end well before the tip of the shoe, and
this is incredible.
This is incredible. They've got like a
kind of makes me horny for Ron.
Yeah, they've got like an X-ray of what it probably looks like inside. That he's wearing a full-on high heel.
Keep honking. I'm staring at Ron DeSantis's.
It is true. It's kind of it does look like he's wearing full-on. And they show him in this one.
Which not for bad reason. I'm pretty sure. Isn't there like a thing like that? Every president is like 6 foot or over.
How tall is he?
I don't know.
Not 6 foot.
How tall is Meatball Ron?
Meatball Ron. Meatball Ron.
That's what Trump called him.
Really? Why? Does he like meatballs?
I don't know, because he's the funniest guy in the world.
Oh, because Trump's the funniest guy in the world?
Yeah.
Man, if you are still
oh, he's 5'11". That's a respectable.
Yeah, that's a respectable height. Leave it alone. Leave him alone. Wait, I just missed a call. Oh, that was from okay.
Yeah.
I see. Well, that about does it for this episode, folks. So please do join us in the bonus patreon.com/PayPigsPod. Right.
We're going to
spell it for him?
PAYPIGSPOD.
Correct.
We're going to be taking some calls. We're going to be chopping it up. We're going to be
insulting. We're going to be hanging up on people. It's okay.
We're going to be doing crank yanker style stuff.
Yeah.